Today, we're diving deep into a single, really powerful verse from one of the most mysterious books in the Bible, Revelation. We're going to be talking about a beast that commits blasphemy. But as you'll see, this word means something way more systematic and, well, deceptive than you probably think. Let's get right into it.
So here it is, Revelation 13, verse 6. Right away, you can feel the drama in the language, can't you? This beast opens its mouth, and out comes blasphemy. Now, that's a word we hear thrown around a lot, but what does it actually mean in this kind of apocalyptic setting? The verse itself gives us some major clues, listing 3 very specific targets.
And that's really the big question for us today. Is this just about, yelling insults at the sky? Or is there something much more clever, much more deceptive going on here? To figure that out, we've got to peel back the layers of translation and get to the original source. And that means we're going all the way back to the language this was first written in, Koine Greek. See, the real precision, the true punch of the author's message is kind of locked inside that original text. And by just understanding a few key words, we can pretty much unlock the meaning of the entire verse.
Okay, I know. This might look a little intimidating. Don't worry about it. We are not going to translate this whole thing word for word. Instead, we're just going to zero in on 3 crucial terms that really form the backbone of this verse's message. Because hidden in all this is the actual blueprint for the beast's attack.
So let's start unpacking these words. Once we look at what they originally meant, we can go from having this kind of vague idea of blasphemy to a super precise understanding of what the author of Revelation was trying to tell us. First up, we've got the word itself, blasphemia. At its very core, it means slander or abuse of speech. And this isn't just about disagreeing with someone, it's a deliberate attempt to misrepresent their character, and in this case, God's character. But this slander isn't just random insults, it has very specific targets, which brings us to our next word. Our second word is skene. This translates to a tabernacle, a tent, or a dwelling place. Now, in a biblical context, this is a huge keyword. It immediately makes you think of the tabernacle in the Old Testament. The special place where God's presence literally dwelled among his people. So the beast is attacking God's dwelling place. And this third word, skenontas, is directly tied to the last one. It means those who dwell or those who tabernacle. So now we have the complete picture from the original text. The blasphemy is a targeted attack on God, on his dwelling place, and on the people who are dwelling there with him. Now let's see what that actually looks like. When you put all these pieces together, it becomes crystal clear that this isn't just random cursing. The source material describes this as a sophisticated, systematic, religious attack. It's blasphemy that's been wrapped up in the language of religion. It's a deception that claims to represent God while twisting everything he is.
This slide really breaks down that 3-pronged attack perfectly. The blasphemy against his name, that's not just about cursing. It's a direct attack on Jesus' identity and sufficiency, the whole idea that he alone is enough for salvation. Then there's the attack on his tabernacle. That's an assault on the belief that Jesus' body is the true temple and that his sacrifice on the cross was complete. It's finished. And finally, the attack on those in heaven is aimed squarely at the true church, the community of believers actually guided by God's Spirit.
So the most important point is this: the beast's blasphemy is a counterfeit. It's a whole religious system that looks spiritual, it sounds spiritual, but its entire purpose is to misrepresent God, to devalue the work of Jesus, and to replace God's grace with man-made rituals and systems of control. It's designed to be a perfect, deceptive copy. And this shows you exactly how it works. This counterfeit system replaces Jesus' name by lifting up other religious figures. It replaces his tabernacle, his body, by building physical temples and altars. It replaces his one-time sacrifice by bringing back endless works and rituals. And it persecutes his true people, the ones who refuse to be part of its system. All of this sets up a fundamental conflict that we see throughout the entire book of Revelation. It's not just a physical battle, it's a spiritual one. It's a battle of voices. On one side, you've got the voice of the beast, just pouring out this systematic blasphemy. And on the other side, you have the voice of heaven. And the contrast here could not be more stark. The beast's voice is all about slander, accusation, and mocking the idea of the atonement. But in direct opposition, heaven's voice is just constant praise and worship. While the beast is all about deception and control, heaven is declaring salvation and victory. The book shows us scene after scene of heaven singing, "Worthy is the Lamb," which is a direct counter to the beast's slander.
And all of this leaves us with one final and I think pretty big question. This ancient text is describing a highly sophisticated religious deception. So in our modern world, which is filled with countless voices, all claiming to have the truth, how do we tell the difference? How do we distinguish the authentic voice of God from a perfect and very persuasive counterfeit? Now that's something to think about.